Hi, my name is Francesco Rulli. I'm the CEO of Querlo. I'm also a Forbes Insights AI solution partner and the cognitive officer of the Opera del Duomo Florence. I'm here today with Angela Peat, who is a design thinking facilitator and also an agile coach. So, Angela, if you can share with us a little bit more about your work.
Sure. My experience has almost always been in tech, whether I've liked it or not. My parents started a tech company, and I got to grow up around a lot of early stage tech. And I've spent most of my career implementing it, designing it, figuring out the right things to create using technology. My current passion, though, is anything I can do with design thinking to help people really make sure that they're defining their challenge or their problem really well.
Okay, so you talk about challenges. So let's look at the COVID era and let's even look at if we can read the future. What are your thoughts about the post-COVID era and where are going to be the challenges, but also the opportunities provided by this new reality that we have entered?
Oh God, I love this. I mean, there's so much changing, and with change comes opportunity. I think that there are lots of companies that one of my biggest opportunities, I would say, in this is in my career as I've taught people how to set up agile environments, or I've been at different clients. I've often had to do a lot of teaching about what it means to work remotely or be inclusive for people that have work from home needs. So just one very small piece that I'm really excited about is the fact that I don't have to teach that anymore. People are learning how to use Zoom. They're understanding how to get a lot of these online tools, which I think really allows us to be able to move a lot faster now that people are leaning in and kind of getting over their discomfort with certain types of technology. So from a technological perspective, I think there's a lot of really great opportunities there. I think challenges, one of the things that I'm worried about from I don't know if you've seen this in parts of your life, Francesco, but like when people start, they get really like excited about something and the pendulum will swing all the way over to the one end and then it'll swing back to the other end. So now that we've all been so remote and we've seen how this goes, I want us to not just shift right back into, I mean, we can't just yet anyways, we don't have a vaccine, but when we do have a vaccine, I'm worried about the shift into everybody needing to be in and around each other, and that could be a challenge, not taking the learnings from being remote and incorporating that. But I think the smart companies are really going to be able to take the change that's going on and those that are leaning into it, to be able to not have that pendulum swing too far. But that's like one of the things that I'm thinking about could be a potential challenge to all of this, just from a technology perspective.
Okay, very interesting. So you mentioned smart companies. Smart carry, is directly connected to me about the use and the role of artificial intelligence in business or in personal life. So where do you see the role of artificial intelligence in this new era?
Well, I think that it's interesting because a lot of people like AI, it's a little bit of a black box. It can feel sometimes like, oh, somebody works in HR, like you just know about the word and that but you don't understand what happens in HR or whatever that black box is. So I think artificial intelligence is without a doubt going to be a really big part of our future. And people have to understand that it's just made by humans. They're just different factors and ways of like approaching a problem and different elements that you're putting into a system. Like AI is not as scary as I think some people end up letting it feel. And I think that I'm hoping that the lean into technology with post-COVID also helps us understand or get closer to other types of technologies. But I think we need it. AI provides us opportunities to be really efficient. It's another really powerful tool in our overall toolbox for looking at data and how things are changing. But we can't rely on it so much that we're not looking at both, like, to me, AI is super quantitative. We also really need to make sure that we're still keeping that human-centered design element of design thinking, and also looking for that qualitative information about, like, is this working for people, or how is this tool like actually being used? So I think my concern is that we absolutely need artificial intelligence. People don't always know what it is or how to use it yet, and that's kind of one of those hurdles that I'm hoping we can get through. But if we can't bridge that gap, I think there could honestly be a little bit more of a widening one, that people could push away from AI and think that it's just a bad thing because they don't understand it. So that's one of the things that I've really kind of thought about, is like, is there going to be some type of a turn toward or away from technology, and how do we as technologists help like manage that change and that language for people so that it's still accessible and it turns into a tool and not a scary thing? Does that sound about
Yes,
what
indeed,
you're looking
it
for
would
there?
be extremely useful for me, from my perspective, to have interlocutors, relationships with design thinking experts like you, within or as consultants of the clients, because sometimes when we develop AI solutions without having the right strategy, and it makes it difficult to carry on and develop an organic product or strategy that provides long-term advantages that is supposed to. Now, if people want to learn more about your work, what's the best way to learn more and reach out to you?
Yeah, I think for me right now it's LinkedIn. It's easy, it's available. So Angela Peat, P-E-A-T, and LinkedIn would be wonderful. I love reaching out and learning what's going on in the world. So please feel free to reach out.
Thank you very much, Angela.